Welcome to the Wealthy Actor Podcast. I'm Valerie Hubbard, an industry veteran with 25 years dedicated to helping actors navigate the business side of their craft.
And I'm James Hallett, a fellow lifelong actor and coach, joining Valerie on this journey.
Here on The Wealthy Actor, we're diving deep into the stories and insights of actors from all walks of life.
We'll be unraveling the threads of success, failures, and everything in between.
So if you're ready to embark on a journey beyond the footlights, join us as we sit down with fascinating actors, industry experts, and thought leaders to uncover the secrets of becoming a truly wealthy actor. I'm Valerie Hubbard.
And I'm James Hallett.
And this is the Wealthy Actor Podcast, where the art of acting meets the business of building a truly prosperous life in the spotlight. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Wealthy Actor Podcast. My name is Valerie Hubbard, and I'm joined by my co-host,
James Hallett. Hey there.
Hi. Happy New Year.
You too.
Ah,
We
good.
made it. We made it to this strange new year.
Well, we're making it.
Yes, exactly.
We'll see what happens. We have an amazing guest today, Mr. Bryan Coffee. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He started his career writing and performing sketch comedy, but had his sights set on being on TV, film, and commercials. He somehow made that happen. He's been in countless commercials, which he loves doing. When he was a kid, commercials were some of the most funny and memorable TV. He's appeared in dozens of TV shows. He loved filming them all, but a few of his favorites have been Monk, This Is Us, Life in Pieces, The Deuce. That was an experience like none other. We'll talk about that. iCarly is a job that continues to give till this day. Also, Raven's Home. Working on Monster was an unusual experience. His most loved role was playing Simon on the sitcom Kevin from Work. These last few years, he's been in some great films: Another Happy Day, Lost and Found in Cleveland, Worm, which is a bizarre alternative reality coming of age picture. He's had a fun scene with one of his favorite comedic actors, Richard Kind, in The Bellman. He co-wrote and performed in a short with his good friend called All We Have to Do Is Kill One Guy, which is available to watch on Laugh After Dark TV streaming channel. He's written a movie that he's been trying to get made on and off for the last couple of years. It hasn't happened yet, but the exercise of writing it and talking to people has led him to a screenwriting opportunity that is currently in the works, and he's thrilled it has come his way. Welcome, Bryan.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Bryan, I want to tell you, we know each other, right? I decided to look and watch your reel.
Yeah.
And to listen to your audio, your VO reel also, just to see where you are and what you're doing. And I love your work. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
It's so fantastic and fun. Your voice is great.
Thank you.
And I don't know if you're doing VO stuff, but I loved your reel.
I'm always trying. Throughout my entire career, I've always wanted to get a solid voiceover career going, but it only comes in dribs and drabs. That's okay. I love what I get.
I'm really excited about this screenwriting opportunity. Can you tell us anything?
What I can tell you, because nothing is solidified at this moment, I don't want to say anything I can't say, is that the opportunity came my way because of the screenwriting I did of my own movie and just going out there and trying to find answers. How do I get this made? And one of those people that I reached out to eventually reached back to me and said, hey, I have an opportunity to write something, and I'm thinking of you. He was very honest about it. He said, I'm throwing the net out wide. I'm asking a lot of people to do this, and you can pitch me as many ideas as you want. Week after week, I pitched and pitched. Finally, I was like, I like that one. Work on that. So I did a little more work on that. He's like, I really like this. Can I write it with you? And I was like, absolutely. Of course. Why not? So we've been writing, and we're waiting for the contract to sign to come in. Hopefully within this month, hopefully before the end of January, that's all going to happen. Once we can sign that contract, we can go, well, here you go. Here's the first draft. In a week? That's right. That's how amazing we are. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, this is so good.
It is.
And I have a lot of things that you said in there, which I just want to point out to our audience, that you got an opportunity, you accepted it, and you pitched repeatedly, because as you know, Bryan used to be a coach for Actors Fast Track, so he knows very well, people start things and they don't carry through. right? Or they don't keep going because they stop at that first no. I want to point that out because that was really cool. And also the fact that you got it because you were reaching out about your other script, which I think is fantastic. I
Yeah.
love that.
I want to second that because the way that you said it, I loved the way you said it. It came my way because of the screenwriting that I did of my own movie. And it's like, we don't wait for permission. I'm literally describing you, right? You didn't wait for someone else to say, hey, Bryan, what about writing? You were
Mhm.
writing and pitching because of your actions and taking action in the world. This opportunity came to you because of what you were doing, as opposed to an opportunity coming to you because someone said, "Hmm, I think I'll pick you,
Mhm.
right, out of the ether to write." And it's so important. And I know that you live in that philosophy. Valerie and I were at the summer event where and I don't know if that was the first time you were performing in front of people at Actors Fast Track, but I remember you doing that monologue in the sun, and
Yes.
and all of us watching you were like, "Oh my God, this is a talented guy." We're
That was
seeing.
so long ago.
I know.
2012 or 2013. I think it was 2013.
I remember being like, "I pick him. If you're gonna pick somebody to succeed, right? It's like
Yeah.
the high school yearbook. He
Yeah.
will succeed." It was just one of those things where you did that piece, and it was so clear that you were hilarious and talented and
Mhm.
focused. It's great to hear that you're writing.
I didn't realize this was going to be a major compliment session, but please, this is great. I appreciate that, James. I really
I,
do. And the funny thing about that is something that I wrote. That was a one-man show that I had been doing. The reason why I wrote a one-man show is because I had been in sketch comedy and my members kept moving on to other things. And I was like, well, I'm by myself now. I guess I have to write a one-man show. And that's what I did. That was some of the toughest writing I ever had to do because you don't have that other person to bounce off of. It's like drudging through, can I get this done? And you have to just keep on going. I would
Mm.
sit in my car and write because that was the only place I could block everything out and just be like, you have to sit in your car, no matter what the temperature is, and get it done. Just write one more bit, one more paragraph, whatever it is. Yeah.
I used to
So,
memorize lines on the subway because it was the
oh,
only
really?
place I could memorize. It's because all the stuff around me made me focus more. That's so funny that you wrote
Absolutely. That sounds like a great place. You're strangely alone in that environment, and you could be with the rhythm of the tracks and just being
it.
like moving
Yeah,
forward and moving forward. That's
yeah.
great. I love that.
You mentioned that the Deuce, which a lot of us saw, was an
Yeah.
experience like none other. What do you mean by that? Tell us about that.
The audition was out of New York, so I was doing a self-tape, which back then was not that common. You just have to figure, well, I'm just going to try something. Stood in the middle of my living room in front of a painting and pretended to be a porn director. Had to be a porn director and say a whole bunch of things. I was glad my mom's not here. So that was weird, but it was also a lot of fun to step into somebody else's shoes that I would not be. I sent it off, never expecting anything at all, and then got it. And getting to set. So during that week of filming The Deuce, I was also filming Raven's Home, which is a kids show. So I'm on The Deuce doing porn and I'm doing the kids show. So I went one week to Raven show, had a break, did The Deuce, went back to Raven show. And it was a very interesting experience because it was my first time dealing with the coordinator. What's that called?
Intimacy.
Thank you, intimacy coordinator. So on a normal set where you get there, things are moving really fast, and you just you get the set, say your lines, get out, sit down, get back up. But this time it was moving very, very slow. They would set you up, bring you out, set up the lights, and then I sat for a really, really long time. Usually when that happens, it means something's gone wrong and you better be ready to perform because nobody's happy right now. I was like, okay, this is what the day is, and that's okay. I'm a professional and no big deal. I'm ready to go. But it was the intimacy coordinator had to approve everything all along the lines, and the crew had to set everything so that they can walk out. Because when we filmed, because there was naked ladies all over the place and sexual favors being done, everybody had to be comfortable. And the whole crew had to leave. Only the essential people could be there. It was awesome. Before we actually started filming, we got with the intimacy coordinator and she went over everything that was going to happen and we talked about it. And if anybody felt uncomfortable about anything, it actually made the scene so much better than I ever thought it could have been because everybody was so comfortable with what they had to do. And I was like, this is a great add to a set. I love this. This should be just done in general. Like, here's what's going to happen. It was just funny because before we started filming, I look around and I was like, that's a naked lady, and there's a naked lady over there, and there's another one over there, and that one's performing fellatio over there. Okay, great. All right. I don't think my mom's going to watch this, but that's fine. But it was an interesting day, a different kind of filming.
And I really loved your character because it was something I never saw you do. He was kind of a little bit soulless. And it was like this edge of you. I mean, on This Is Us, you were serious, right? But on that show, there was still comedic. Bryan was there. He was peeking out. But I just was like, wow, that was really good. I mean, I have to say, another compliment, but it was really good acting because I was like, oh, this is something I'm surprised to see out of Bryan. And so
Thanks.
maybe like part of it was that whole experience really fed to you.
I got a very nice compliment from the director. She said a lot of people could have fallen into yelling back at the main actress in the scene because she was so frustrated and angry and yelling at me. A lot of actors would have just yelled right back, but you stayed calm in that moment as a character and said, no, you can't talk to me this way. I was like, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That character had a job to do. I'm doing my job. Do your job. That was basically what the guy was saying.
Awesome. Yes, James, I see
Oh,
it.
yes, James. Valerie, you had mentioned in the opening intro, you'd mentioned The Deuce, but you mentioned another show as well, and I didn't type it fast enough in my note. What was the other
Oh, there's so
show?
many. Raven's Home, Monster, This Is Us, Life in Pieces, The Deuce, The Monk, iCarly, Kevin from Work. That was
Wow.
his favorite role.
I would love to hear about your favorite role.
Kevin from Work. That
It's
was
hilarious.
one of my favorite because that guy embodied what I do as an actor. He's the smartest dumb guy in the room. And he was right. He's right all the time, regardless of what he's saying. It's just fun to be so stupid with what you say and be so confident about it. And people kind of have to deal with what you say and be like, I think he's right. I don't know, but I don't think it's right. What's wrong with you? So you just get constant looks of like, what are you talking about? It was a lot of fun because I got to play the character over several episodes.
And you got to work with Jack Black.
No, I didn't get to work with Jack Black. Oh, that you're thinking of the break.
Oh, The Break. That was it.
Yes,
That
the
was
break.
Jack Black.
That was Jack Black. Yes.
Oh, I thought, yeah. But I remember seeing Kevin from Work on your, and it is the smartest dumb guy in the room.
Oh yeah.
I want to, if you can, for those people who are going to be listening to this,
Yeah.
can you talk to them about understanding your type and not being afraid of the type casting of your type?
Yeah. Knowing what you do once you get in front of the camera or even on stage. On stage, less so because I feel like stage you can kind of bend those rules. But on camera, the camera doesn't lie, James. It's going to tell you exactly what it sees. On camera, I always play somebody who thinks he's smarter than he really is. That's really what it comes down to. And it took a little while for me to figure that out because as a young actor, you're like, I can do anything. And that may be true, but you do one thing really well. You tell a story every single time you get in front of the camera. I don't know why. Maybe not everybody does it, but I feel like most actors do. I might even challenge what I just said. If you go even to an actor or an actress that seems like they're constantly chameleonizing, TM, I bet you, even though they're doing that, they're still telling the same story. I figured out my story. and I am the smartest dumb guy in the room. There's variations on that from the porn director who's like, I'm just doing my job, to this guy, Simon, who was really like out of it. You know, my favorite, the very first scene I had to film as this guy, which did not make it into the show, which I was really upset about. When they first meet me, I break out my lunch, and my lunch is an onion. And I just bite into the onion like an apple next to Kevin, who is Noah Reed. He has just landed in this bullpen of idiots, and I'm the first guy he meets. I'm like, "How you doing?" What a great introduction, right? But they didn't use it. They ended up using something else, but just as good. But yeah, it's just knowing what you do once you step in front of the camera, and it makes it so much easier. It makes it easier when you audition for something because you understand what you do, and then you make adjustments to whatever the show or movie might be.
It's interesting. I mean, each one of us has our place where we shine. It's almost like as a singer, there's a part of your voice that has a particular sound and resonance that is just your place. It's your
Yes.
sweet place. And if we can be embattled with it and say, no, 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 I can sing anything. But the reality is that our sound has a particular sweet place. There's a place that we do better than anyone else, where our voice is distinct and unique. You know,
James, we do better than anyone else. That's the thing that I really like what you just said. Yeah. What's your particular thing?
and trusting it, not being afraid of landing there.
Yeah.
Have there been any roles where you were like, oh, I don't, where you at first didn't see that fit, and then you had
Mhm.
to discover, like,
Nothing I can think of because when I look back on the things that I've done, it makes sense that that's what I was doing.
yeah.
Even without knowing it, I couldn't escape it.
Was it the role in your reel?
Mhm.
Maybe the "This Is Us" clip where you played
Mhm.
a more serious character. Can you talk about what it was like to play that role in contrast to the comedic characters?
That was a little bit easier because all I had to do was just deliver that line like that guy sitting across from me. The funny thing was, while we were shooting that, I was so used to doing comedy that gotta hit the beats every single time, bop, bop, bop,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I was doing that, and the director came over to me. He's like, "Hey, you're doing great, but this isn't a stage play." I was like, "Oh, okay, I got it." So he was basically saying, "Breathe, let it go. Don't worry about hitting the beats. Just sit there, feel it, and respond when you need to respond."
Got it.
And it changed the performance. I was like, what a great direction. What an absolute great direction. Made all the difference. We did a couple more takes. So I don't know. Does that answer your question?
Well, it's really interesting because you said the way you described the character, you're looking at someone else telling them about they're not so smart, right? And so it's still the same struggle, right? Who is
Yeah.
the smartest person in the room? That's so fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing.
It's
Here's
just a
the
different.
information I've got.
It's a different lens of the same thing,
Yeah.
right? It's like the camera's the same. You just switch lenses.
Just a different delivery.
Mhm. And also, sometimes when someone gives you what could be seen as an abrasive comment, even though like you're doing great, but we're
Yeah.
not, it's like learn, like letting that, taking it for what he meant it to be and just doing it, rather than internalizing and personalize like it was something about you. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Because that's something that you get as a pro. Now we've all had directors that weren't the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. A commercial director called me a dick because I didn't do his physical comedy bit fall the proper way on the right beats. He kept on showing me what to do. And I'm like, I'm doing that. And I kept on doing it. He said, no, this. And I was like, okay. And I would do it. And I know I did it. And he would go, no, that's not it. And we went round and round a couple of different times. And at one point, he's like, just stop being a dick. And I was like, my God, if this was my first job in Hollywood, I don't know if I continue to do this. But it wasn't, thank God. And the funny thing was, so I would do the bit and then I'd fall into a nice big mat. And there was a couple of guys down there at the mat making sure I land on there properly. And he says that line to me. And I turned to them and they're like, oh my gosh. So I was like, thank you for acknowledging that it does make me feel better. Crazy thing
I
is, he hired me again. I went into an audition room for another commercial and I see him and I'm like, oh shit. I'm never gonna get this job. The first thing he says to me is like, you were awesome. And then I was like, I don't know anything about anything anymore. So let's just keep on going. And guess what? I booked that commercial. So that was great.
it's so funny because this commercial that I did this last year, the
Yeah.
director was kind of a dick, right? Like he was kind, and when I was in the callback, I was like, "Oh, I'm not booking this." But what he was doing was he was working me like an old horse, trying to get me around. And I realized when I went to work with him, that's how he works with people. So I just was like, "Well, I'm not getting this." One thing I want to talk about is when you asked me one time, and I'll never forget this. He said to me, I know what you're going to say, but how do I do this? And I'm like, just do it. And it's something, Bryan, that is a big aha for me this last year that everything that I need is right here. And a lot of times we're out here trying to get something, or it's just as simple as just ask. And we hedge around asking so much, I think, as actors. Can you talk about your journey with that, having the bravery to ask for a job?
It is scary. It's really scary because you're scared of the rejection. You're scared that someone's going to yell at you and that it's going to end your dream or end your ability to move forward. You don't know why you think that or how that's even possible, but you build up like this thing, whatever it might be, it's going to end if I ask. So it gets scary. You make up a story and it gets scary. You just have to do it. You just have to figure it out. But it does come with a plan. Whether I'm asking for someone to take a look at my script or you see a part you're right for and you want to email the casting director or producer, those are scary moves because a lot of the times you're told you shouldn't do that. But once you start doing it, it gets a whole lot easier. And when you get rejected, it becomes okay. Recently, the SpongeBob movie, this most
Yeah.
recent SpongeBob movie came out. All of a sudden, about a year or so ago, on my IMDb page, it said that I'm in this movie. And I was like, oh, that's great news. I talked to my agents, talked to all my agents. I was like, do you know anything about this? Did I miss something? Please let me know. And they said, no, we know nothing about this. So I started doing research, who the director is, who the producers are, who's the casting director. And then I finally got an email for the director of the movie. It was, one of the creators of SpongeBob. I sent him an email. I said, hey, listen, I see that I'm listed in the movie and I don't know anything about it, but I would love to be in the movie. My son loves SpongeBob and it would be a great thing. So I reached out and asked if it is happening, great. If not, can we make it happen? It took a while for him to get back to me, but he said, I don't know anything about this role. The role that's listed isn't even in the movie. I'm so sorry about that. I responded back, that's okay, but I would love to be in the movie anyway if you have a spot for me or any of your projects coming forward. And haven't heard back. But I'm obviously not in the movie. But that's okay. It's totally okay because I took the chance. If I had not taken the chance of just doing a little research and figuring out who to talk to, I would have been like, I should have done that. That bit of regret has become more powerful to me than what if I do ask and someone says no. So it's on the back end now is what becomes more powerful. If I don't do this, I'm going
That's
to be
so good.
upset with myself. So do it. And if nothing happens, nothing happens. That's okay. But I've done it plenty of times where things have happened. I get rejection and validation at the same time.
Well, the other thing is that you've planted a seed. You've planted a seed, and the seed is there that the next movie they do, you can actually write and say, hey, I'm the guy who wasn't in your movie, but perhaps should have been. But here's another chance, right? Like you have an opportunity now. You've planted the seed. You've made the connection.
And that's so weird because you did that pitch video for it a long time ago
That was
for SpongeBob.
that was a different movie though. That's so funny. I forgot about that. Yeah.
with the lab coat.
That was a
The
different movie, the newer movie. That's how long ago that was.
Are you still doing pitch videos?
I haven't done one in a while. I'll do it again. If the thing is right, I'll absolutely do that again for sure. Yeah.
I loved your pitch video for when you asked for a series regular on a Disney show. That was so good.
Thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, talk a little bit about that. Maybe some of the people here might have seen that video before.
One of my goals is to be a regular on a Disney, Nickelodeon, or Nickelodeon's kids show. And I have done plenty of kids shows. It's called a family sitcom. That's the lingo they call it, yeah. Although who knows what they call it now, maybe. Anyway, we'll call it kids. So I really love doing them. I just think they're just so much fun, and I have such a great time doing them. And I get to play stupid idiots, you know. So what's not to like? I really wanted to make a strong pitch for that. I really wanted to push it again because I don't want to regret not doing it. So I put together this video of me just standing and talking and cutting between the things I have done on kids shows and why I'm a good fit for this type of role. And it was great. I made the recording of me talking in a matter of 15 minutes. I had a general idea of what I wanted to say, and then I just talked. It all came down to editing. I cut my pieces, put it together, and started sending it off. I got feedback for sure. People said thank you. And not too far after sending the out, I got a audition from Bullock Snow and booked a role on not well, it's not Henry Danger anymore. It was Danger Force. So I booked a role in Danger Force. And that was after lockdown, we started coming back. That was my first role. And it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that as well. I didn't get exactly what I was looking for, but I got pretty damn close. That's something right there. And I think that is a lesson that I keep on learning. You have to keep asking for it. You may not get exactly what you're asking for, but something will happen. But if you don't ask, then none of it's going to happen. So just keep on asking.
you know you're singing my song. What I realized a long time ago was that at Actors Fast Track, everyone's playing a game. They claim the game when they walk in. We check in on it. When I find people are playing the game and they're
Yeah.
going for one thing, like a Broadway show, they get other stuff because they're moving forward, and moving
Yeah.
forward is an attraction. It's part of the whole thing of the power of attraction. So yeah, I totally agree. If you don't ask, a lot of times it doesn't show up like you think it's going to show up.
No, I don't think it ever does, honestly.
No.
Very, very rarely.
And I would add to that what actually comes to us is what we really needed.
Right.
The challenge is to say yes, thank you, right? Is to be in the place of once we've taken the step forward, we open our hands and receive.
Yeah.
But we can't open our hands to receive without stepping forward. We actually have to send out that thing that says, hey, I want to do this, and then open our hands.
So true.
That goes for any kind of business. We are focused on this particular one, but with everything that anybody ever wants, you have to move forward, whatever it is. You have to take action. If you want to be a nurse, you got to go to school. You just can't walk into a hospital and say, I'm a nurse. You have to go to school, learn it, and pursue it that way. With something like that, it's a little clearer what you have to do, but I'm sure there's still boundaries that need to be figured out that every nurse right now on their podcast is going, okay, let's talk about how you got your job. Well, I was going for this, but I ended up doing something completely different, but it's still in the general area. So,
You speak from experience. Weren't you dealing with eyes before?
yes, long ago, I was an optician. I used to make
Right?
I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
that was
this is
my
the kind of
first
thing that I don't forget because my memory is so bizarre. But it's so interesting. You made a huge career shift to do
huge.
this,
Yeah.
which I think is courageous, risky, and bold. Yeah. Did you? So what for you? What I know that I'm leaping ahead, but what for you is what you envision for yourself this
Mhm.
coming year? What are the things that you're really energized about?
Well, I more work for sure, but this year I'm looking at things a little bit differently. I'm kind of looking at things that what can I control because a lot of things feel a little bit out of control in life. I'm focusing on that. One of those things is working on my abilities as an actor. Over this past year, I noticed there were certain kinds of auditions I am not 100% confident in. And I don't like that. So I've gone back to school and I'm taking acting classes and I'm taking a 101 acting class. I just had my first one this past week and it's great. And I'm scared shitless, to be honest with you, because I'm going to be doing things I don't normally do. I've spent my entire career honing my comedy chops. So I'm going to dive deep into drama because I realized what was happening. If I got an audition that was going to require me to go to a heavier dramatic side, I could feel like this, stop, hold it. This is not your common area here. And I was like, stop it, stop it. So all year long, I was trying to clear this out. I couldn't figure out how to do it. I said, well, I just got to prove it to myself. I got to figure out how to do, I got to figure out, I know, let me try this again. I have to realize I can do it. And I need to show it to myself so that I know that I can do it. Go to class, take a class and show myself and learn and keep on doing it over and over again so that I can do it and not have that worry anymore. So that is the goal of that. And from that, I'm hoping that those larger opportunities that encompass both comedy and drama will come my way and I'll be ready for it. That's the goal.
I would love to know what kind of scenes they give you, which would be really interesting to me, and what the work is like. It's great that you're self aware enough to know that, oh, every time I get this audition, I'm like, you
Mhm.
know, so, and I stress this to the audience. Actors are very guilty of throwing the baby out with the bathwater and starting all over rather than tweaking as you go and getting better in your business and what you need. So that to me is really great.
I agree. And the fact that you were paying attention to where you experienced the sort of anxiety or the hesitancy,
Yeah.
and instead of hiding from it or running from it, you leaned
Oh, I
into it.
tried. I tried, Jim. But you
You
really
can.
can.
Right.
You try to be like, oh, that's all right. That's okay. I'll reason with that. I'll figure it out. There's other jobs out there, and then it would happen again. And you're like, no, now it's the guilt at the end. You know, this is a bit morbid, but I think of myself on my deathbed and I'm like, I should have taken that acting class. I could have gotten the part.
There's a book called the Five Wishes Workbook, which James and I know about. I think you know about it, James. Like,
Yeah.
and where you imagine you're on your deathbed and identify your life goals by saying what you would like to say at the end of your life that you accomplished, and that's a way to write your life goals and make sure what you're doing yearly is in line with those. So it's called the Five Wishes Workbook for anyone who's interested in that. So which monster did you do? There's more than
Uh,
one, right?
yeah, there's 3 seasons now. I was in the
Yeah.
last season with Ed Gein.
Mark
Yeah.
Schottner was in that.
Who is it? Who?
Mark Schottner.
Mark Shartner. Okay.
Mark Schottner's German. I think that's
Okay.
why it was cast. Yeah. But he was a client for a while. Oh, that's so cool. What did you do on that? I didn't know you were on that.
Yeah, I played a reporter of when Ed Gein's girlfriend, forgive me, I can't remember her name, came out after it was discovered that he was a serial killer. She made this speech on her front patio. It was me and 4 other guys, and it was a great day. It was a very cold day in this crazy house way out in the middle of nowhere south of Chicago. I was driving so far that I was like, if this isn't the place, I am screwed because I don't know how long it's going to take me to get back. And you're just driving and driving. We ended up at this house that looked like the Psycho house that's on the Universal lot right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so reminiscent of it. And I'm sure that's the reason why it was picked because of all the
James,
time.
wasn't that audition that you coached me on? Remember that one a long time? I think it was that show. And when he was saying that, I was like,
Oh yeah.
Did you audition to
Wow.
play her mother? Because I could totally see that.
I think
You
I,
Oh,
did.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
yeah.
Wow.
Because I remember when you're saying that,
I feel like
you
we all
know,
know that. That's wild.
I need to sit down and watch that. I have a hard time with the serial killer thing sometimes. I mean, I grew up with the BTK killer. I was literally sitting in front of the Otero's family house when he was murdering them. I was on my school bus. Yeah, and they questioned us. So it's like, we had this prolific serial killer in my hometown. It's hard to watch that stuff. I love Ryan. Was Ryan the director?
No, he was not. It's Max Winkler, who amazing. Like he comes out and I'm like, oh my God, it's Henry Winkler. He looks just like his dad. It's amazing. What a nice guy. Oh, what an amazing human being. He is so nice. Just like his dad, I'm sure, as I've heard. I've never met the guy. What a nice guy. And so strange that he is able to direct this really, really dark material in an amazing way. And it's just like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, it's just light as feathers all the time. It was really great. Yeah, it was a very fun day. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Wow. Well, now I have to watch it. I have two people that, I
It's a
try to
hard,
watch everything.
it's a hard show to watch, Val. I'll be honest with you. It is pretty gruesome. I never have to turn a television show off halfway because of gruesome stuff. But this time I was like, okay, I'm done. I'll come back. I got to breathe a little bit. Thank you.
I'll just
But
fast forward to my part. I know. It's so funny. I'm not a big one that I don't always watch everything that I'm in, but I really try to watch everything my clients are in, because I try to do that. But good. Awesome. Wow. What are other great directors that do you want to call out that you've worked with?
oh, one of my favorite is Linda Mendoza. I worked with her a couple of times on Kevin from Work. She was just really great at directing comedy. She's an amazing comedy director. Through doing different episodes of Kevin from Work and having directors come and go, she was the one that stood out to me because it almost seemed like she wasn't doing anything. And that things were so much funnier when she was directing. And I was like, what is she doing or not doing that makes it so much better than everybody else? Everybody else had this really heavy hand. There was one guy who was twisting the metal and shaping. And I thought that was going to be great, but it ended up just making so many problems and things were not funny. But she just was like, yeah, just, do
That's
your thing.
it's
And
trusting your actors. I got cast one time in School for Wives years ago, the Moliere play. The director was like that, like twisting me. And I thought, you hired the two funniest people in New York to do this play. Let us be funny. Let us do what we do. I feel like he really ruined the performance because he was trying to manipulate. I get that.
yeah, yeah. And looking back on it, I could see the differences that guy came in with his ideas and put them on us
Mm,
before letting us do what we do, where she let it happen, looked at it, and made adjustments according to what needed to happen. And
right.
that is a huge difference.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
she was also just lighter, just
Yeah.
like Max Winkler was just lighter.
I have that belief about directing and actors that the best directors I've ever worked with were people who created a space that brought out the best in everybody, the creatives, the DP, that the space they created was one in which everybody came forward with their best work. That's such a great story of the
Mhm.
difference and the surprise to see the result and be like, oh, wow, she was creating space. I love it.
I loved all the children's shows directors I worked with. They were always so much fun and lighthearted because they had to work with kids. So they were easygoing. It was fun. I always loved those guys,
Oh,
mostly guys, I think.
I want to touch on
mhm.
your writing again. I'd love to know what for you, like, where does your writing fit into your creative expression goals? How do you see your writing vis-a-vis your acting? What is the expression that you're sort of like, this needs to come out in the
Mm.
world?
That has fluctuated over the years from being the thing that allows me to do what I want to do to not being the thing at all. Writing stopped, concentrated on acting and booking work. Now it seems to be making its way back in after I wrote the script, which I actually started a while ago, put it down, and then during lockdown, I was like, I got to do something. So I started sitting down and writing that and joined a writers group headed by a good friend of mine, Bonnie McBird, who wrote Tron. I love to drop that wherever. She wrote the original Tron and was a teacher of mine at UCLA when I took a writing program. I met her doing theater, and she taught me how to write a screenplay. Like, what does it mean? Eventually, during the pandemic, I ended up joining her writing group along with a bunch of other professional writers. So I got a lot of feedback of what's working, what's not working, and that is invaluable. And on that note, I have to say, like everything in my career is because of community, because of people helping me craft my career as I do for them, making sure that if I write an email, I have an accountability group where if it's an asking email, would you please read this for me? Make sure this sounds right. Even check the spelling. Am I asking the right thing? Is it too much? Is it too little? All that stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, it invaluable. If you don't
Yes.
have an accountability group, even if it's just another person, figure somebody out and just keep that going. We have a weekly meeting. It is the best thing in the world. Even if I'm not working on something specific that week, it is still keeping me going as to where I'm going.
In your accountability group, do you just like say stuff you'd like to be held accountable for? Do you also present work in that group?
Yes, all of it. This is what I would like to do. This is where I want to go. I'm trying to form what I want out of 2026. And here's the ideas, but I don't think it's clear yet. Can you tell me what you hear me saying?
Got it.
Once I know I want something, if I'm asking for something, like I said, composing the email, if I have written something, will you read it? And I do the same for them. So it is the best thing in the world, honestly. You can't have enough accountability groups for all different kinds of things. So highly recommend it. Getting back to your question, James, where writing sits right now is this possible script is an opportunity. That's an opportunity that I didn't see coming, and I hope I have it soon. The opportunity to write to get paid. That's the thing
Mm.
right there. Whatever happens after that happens. I don't know. Will the movie get made? I don't know. Will I be in it? I don't have control over that right now. The thing I have control over is once I sign on the dotted line, I have to write a script and get paid for that. That's thrilling. I didn't think that a year ago today, that was not even in, I wasn't even thinking about it, but it came to me. So great. As far as using it to express, I don't know. I've been fiddling back and forth about writing more for myself, but that is time consuming, and I don't know if that's where I'm at right now. So every once in a while, I'll sit down, and I'll write something, and if it goes bigger than that, then it goes bigger than that. But I don't want to force myself at this moment to do that because it doesn't feel right.
Mm.
Maybe, who knows? By March, it might feel completely different.
Is your writing right now, the piece that you're working on, is that comedy? That's awesome.
Great. Do we have any
Brian,
questions from the audience?
I don't think so. I think probably because they're just sitting in wonder at what Brian's been talking about.
Give me a break.
They're in shock.
Okay.
So, you guys, if you have any questions, please put them into the Zoom question area. We'd love to send those to Brian. Brian, is there anything happening in your life that you want to mention that we haven't asked? Like, is there anything that you're like, oh, this would actually be something useful to talk about?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if it's in theaters anymore. It was during November, but it might still be. There's a great movie called Lost and Found in Cleveland, or that I am in. It's just a really sweet movie. And it's got some amazing actors. It's got Martin Sheen in it. It's got John Lovitz in it. It's got Liza Wheel in it. I have a wonderful scene across from Liza Wheel. She's such an amazing.
My friend used to date her.
What?
It's a small world.
Yeah.
Years ago when before Gilmore Girls.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. She's the
Yeah.
nicest person.
Oh, she's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. If I don't know if it's still in theaters, but check your local listings. It might be. And if it's not, I'm sure it'll be coming to some kind of streaming service soon. What else is going on? Let's see. Just looking at a list here. You could see me in a Lowe's commercial. during football games.
That's good. I'm a Bears
Uh,
fan, so
oh,
I'm
you're
gonna have
okay.
I'm gonna have my eyes glued to
Chicago.
the set. Yeah.
I heard that it's Rams and Bears this weekend. This is the most sports talk I've ever had in my life right now. Rams and Bears, right? Other animals? It's an animal fight, right? Tonight. Yeah. So
The Bears.
I know, I know. I mean, Los Angeles Rams versus the Bears puts me directly against all of my Los Angeles friends.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
have to go. I mean, I'll always be a Chiefs fan because I'm from Kansas. Yeah,
you got to do it.
yeah, it's there. We did get a question, and I know you said you took a screenwriting class at UCLA, but did you take any others? She wanted to know. It's Zulima. She said, you seem to do both so well." She said, "Did you take screenwriting class?"
Outside of that particular screenwriting class, I have not. A lot of it has been, well, I did go through Second City out here in LA, and that also encompasses writing. That was writing sketches. Within that writing, in those writing classes for those sketches, it was always talked about like, here is the short version of what a script is, and that's where you make a sketch. All that writing that I did way back when in Second City is definitely useful for screenwriting as well. The get to the point of writing a sketch is very valuable in writing a movie because you can find yourself being very long-winded when you're writing a long movie. It's so flowery. And you can get what happens, and that's really important. What I have learned is that writing is rewriting and editing. That is the thing. You have to edit, edit, edit.
And it's important to not hold on to stuff, like to be able to let go.
And if there's something that you really love and it's not working, just put it to the side, leave it there. It's okay. You never know. It might find its way back in again in a completely different spot.
I just saw James in a brilliant play before Christmas. He was always brilliant,
Well,
but
yeah.
he played a dragon and he was an ass, which was great. There was this whole section they could have cut from here to here. And
I wasn't in that section.
anytime you were on
Great for
stage,
you.
it was really good. It was such good Russian theater. It was at the Russian theater in New York, directed by a Russian, and it was a Russian story. I thought the way they build, it's like The Devil Wears Prada. You know how they build up Meryl Streep? They build up this dragon. And then I knew James was the dragon. He came out. I was like, oh, he lived up to it. He was such an ass. You were such an ass.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
That's so great,
My
James.
secret superpower.
Is that what you play? Do you play the ass?
It's an interesting question. I played the comedic trickster. It's someone who digs under your skin a little bit, and it can be nasty and mean or
Uh,
completely playful.
uh,
But there's always a little bit of like, it's an interesting question with that role because the character's identity in that play has three different heads. So even in that play, I played three different identities of the dragon,
oh, that's pretty cool.
which is fun. We do have another question. Jane says, have you ever done stand-up comedy because you have funny bones? I remember your laboratory pitch.
Oh,
The SpongeBob pitch.
SpongeBob. Yeah. No, I have never done stand-up. I have done solo shows, sketch comedy, and that kind of stuff. I've never done stand-up though. Every once in a while I think about doing it and I realize it's just not for me. I've done nope, I've never done that. Never mind. No, yeah. It's
I
just
have a client that's just starting that journey. He's super dramatic. And I was like, you want to do, okay. I think it's the scariest thing to do stand up.
I mean, who knows? Maybe one day I'll change my mind and be like, let's give it a shot. But it's a completely different muscle. It's a
Yeah.
different skill. And you have to want to do that. And at this moment in my life, it's not there. And I've got a lot of things in life that are happening. So I have to make sure, like, am I doing the thing that's important to me? It might change. I give myself that grace to change whenever I want. Also, back to your question, James, before of anything else that I'm doing, I'm sure I'm going to be doing something soon. So for anybody who wants to follow, you can follow me on Instagram at bryan.coffee. Please check it out.
And it's Brian with a Y.
Coffee with a double E and a double F. Oh,
and I want to point out for those who can't see you, they're just hearing in the audio podcast. You have a fantastic mug that you were drinking out at the beginning of the call.
Oh yeah,
which is
it's my donut mug. I made
it's a
it.
It's a donut mug, and it looks like it looks like a donut. It actually has a hole in the middle. It's really fantastic.
I made this. My son used to like to go to Color Me Mine and paint ceramics, so I made this at one of our sessions.
It looks almost edible.
Doesn't it? I'm pretty proud of
You
it.
did a
Yeah.
great job with that.
And it has a big B on the bottom.
That
For those
because they need to know who it belongs to. So I put a big B on the bottom to make sure that I know it's mine. And I'll go pick it up.
Did other people make donut coffee? Is that something they have, like a donut coffee cup?
Yes, they had two different versions. They had a much bigger one of these, which I was like, that's really big. I don't think I need that. They had that, and they had a whole bunch of other stuff. They runs the gamut of all kinds of things. I think I even saw a marijuana pipe there. I was like, okay, sure. Kids are painting their donuts, and
It's
you're
right there
making.
in Studio City, right? That Color Me Mine is right there. Man, this has been fantastic. It's been really good. Thank you so much. We've been trying to get you on here, and I'm so happy we got you on here.
Thank you very much.
What a great way to start off the year. So thanks for
Yes,
being here.
it's so awesome to catch up with you, Bryan. I'm so excited to learn more about your writing as it comes out and to see what you do in the new year.
thank you.
We're waiting on pins and needles about the script.
Yeah,
So as soon as you can say anything, let us know.
I will. Thank you.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you, Bryan. And we'll see you next month on The Wealthy Actor. Bye, everyone.